Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Tuesday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go across to our friends over in Adelaide. And of course, the SANFL women's competition is well and truly underway. Of course, they've just played 2 rounds already, which round 2 just completed last weekend. And of course, for North Adelaide in particular, they had to just sneak over the line against Glenelg on the weekend, winning by less than a goal. Of course, we've got of course, our player sponsor, of course, there at North Adelaide, and of course, the defending champs, of course. Her name's Lauren Daniels. She joins us right now. Thanks, Lauren, for joining us.
No worries. Thanks so much for having us, having me, and for being a sponsor this year. We really appreciate it as a club. So all sponsors that get involved with, really appreciative. So thanks so much.
No worries. Well, great start to the season. 2-0 so far, as you try to defend your premiership from last year. Tell us, how has it been for the first 2 games?
Been really good. Back to winning ways, I guess. You never know what the new season's going to bring. Last year was history making, and it was unbelievable with COVID, and then obviously going undefeated and winning a huge premiership. So you never know what you're going to get come new season, and we've had a huge turnover of players. Obviously, a few going to the AFLW, and lots of new people coming in, lots of new really exciting kids. So round 1, just not knowing what to expect, but just pretty comfortable really against a good South Adelaide unit. Played really well. I thought that we kind of absorbed their pressure early, and then just got over the top of them. Last weekend just gone was an interesting one because we would probably have gone in as favourites, but Glenelg really, really gave it to us, and it was definitely touch and go for a lot of the game. Thankfully, we got over the line. It was a hot day. It was muggy. Not that that's an excuse, but I think a few of the girls were maybe feeling that. And obviously, it's early days, so whether that conditions, not right up there yet, but still good. Still got over the line. Still some really, really good contributions from players. So we're happy with the 2-0 and look to continue on from here.
Well, must tell us a bit about that game against Glenelg, because by watching a bit of the game, and especially the way the scoring was going, I guess it seems like no one wanted to score a goal in that game. Tell us a bit about how strange. Obviously, you mentioned about the conditions. It was a pretty hot weekend as it was, and obviously you played on a Friday night, which I guess was sort of a bit easier. I guess how tough was the game, and I guess especially were you surprised the way Glenelg came out in that first quarter?
I mean, I wouldn't say surprised as such, because we obviously watched their round 1 game. They're looking like a good unit this year, so we definitely didn't take them for granted. They get the ball moving really quickly. They like to kind of attack the corridor, and obviously if that bodes well, that's quick entry to goals. So they sprung us early, and it was hotly contested, but I think we got a bit of a shake up at halftime. Chrissy was pretty not angry at us, but just sometimes you need a bit of love, and then other times you need a bit of tough love. So it was definitely a tough love halftime break, and she just explained to us what we needed to do, which was just be more contested. Our tackle numbers were up, but it was because we didn't have as much of the ball, so we needed to try and get those possessions up. The girls came through in the end. I mean, we've got class across the field, so that shone through, but Glenelg definitely gave it to us, and they're going to be a very good team this year. So we definitely don't underestimate them.
I guess going into the next weekend's game coming up, I guess how he's going to approach next weekend, and what did you learn from a very close win like that and pretty tough game against Glenelg going to this coming weekend's game?
Definitely. This weekend's going to be a huge game. It's obviously 1 and 2. West Adelaide look very good this year. They've always been a very good team, but whether it's clicking at the right time or whatever, but they've got some obviously huge individuals. And a young girl called Lauren Young, I think she's kind of dominating all the stats at the moment. So she's obviously going to be one to watch. And then they've got some, AFLW listed players, some SANFL players that have played for a long time that we know are very dangerous. So yeah, it's just same again, really. I think we can't start the way that we did against Glenelg. A really good start is important for us. We know that the way that we want to play, we know our style. So I guess we probably got a bit lost on Saturday and maybe just played Glenelg's way, played into their hands a little bit. So we just got to kind of revert back to our style, the way we want to play, and hopefully get over the line. I know that we're good enough, but it just depends on the day. But yeah.
When you just mentioned about West Adelaide and of course North Adelaide, it is the two teams that had their players win the league's best and fairest. I think you don't have Anne Hatchett playing this week, obviously due to the AFLW, but I'm not sure they'll have Rochelle Munn anyway. But I guess if they do have her playing on the weekend, how are you going to combat her?
I highly doubt that she'll play, which is good for us, and it's really good for Rochelle because she's been very good for the Crows from what I've seen. So yeah, I'm sure she'll continue her role in the Crows team, and we wish her all the best in that. But without Rochelle, they're still a really strong outfit. So I mean, if she does play, we've played against her before. She brings a lot of contest. She's a real in and under player, but I mean, if she's not there, they've got others who can fill that role as well. So their midfield's strong. They've got strong players in every line. So we definitely will know the ones to watch, but overall as a team outfit, they're good too. So yeah, like I said, we'll just have to bring our best on the day and hopefully get over the line.
2-0 at the moment up to this point. Obviously got a pretty tough game and I guess a real test this week against West Adelaide, and obviously the winner of that game goes to the top of the ladder. Last year went for the whole year undefeated as well. I guess my question is, how do you keep sustaining this winning streak? Because obviously going through undefeated, you're going through the first 2 rounds undefeated as well. How are you been coping with that?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and I guess one that many great teams kind of have to deal with. You have to keep that drive and that passion and that mentality to win, especially like I said, last season was long, as well as it was obviously intense and a big season nonetheless. But when you add COVID in, just keeping that drive. But I think this year, to be honest, a lot of the drive comes from the new players that are coming through. Some of the young girls, especially an oldie like myself, who's been around since day one, seeing these 15, 16-year-old kids, players like Hannah Ewings, who she seems like a veteran and she's 16 already, and is, one of the best players, if not the best in SANFL I've ever seen. They drive you, their work rate, their effort in training. They want to play, they want to get drafted, they want to win. So that keeps you going, and obviously just that thought of going back to back and winning another premiership. So passion's really high in the club. We've got we're all really good friends as well as teammates, so you just keep going week to week and hope that drive continues. But it's pretty good vibe around the club at the moment, so that's good.
We just mentioned about one of those players, Hannah Ewings, which I think she got the player of the match in the first game, if my memory serves me correct, against South Adelaide.
Yep.
I guess tell us a bit about her rise to where she's got to now. And I guess I know this is going to sound a silly question to ask, but are you surprised at all that the way that she's played from the time that she stepped into the door, first time she stepped in the door there with North Adelaide?
Yeah, Hannah's obviously, she's country girl. She's from Whyalla. She's travelled down week in, week out. She came out a couple of years ago. She was obviously involved with the club and the junior programs before the senior women's, I think, but she was highly regarded. And about 2 years ago, she came out and she couldn't even play. She was too young, but she beat us all in a time trial. And we were just like, who's this kid? She was unbelievable. Saw a bit of her on the ball at trainings, but then she came out last year. There was a bit of hype around her, and then just seeing what she could do in games last year was unbelievable. She obviously won the breakthrough player of the year, and I think what she's brought this year is, well, what she will bring, it's only 2 games in, but just that bit more consistency, a bit more run in the tank. I think last year she had so many moments of brilliance, but she is capable of making a game her own and being brilliant for 4 quarters. So I'm really excited, or we're all really excited at the club to see where she goes. We know that she won't be around with us for too much longer because she'll get snapped up, but we're really grateful that she's with us right now. And she's just a really cool girl as well. She's just got a great sense of humour, good head on her shoulders. She's confident, but is really level-headed as well. So she's going to go far for sure.
Now, let's talk a bit about the team. You mentioned that it's been a huge turnover of players due to, obviously, there's a lot of them from that premiership team last year and now playing in AFLW for Adelaide or over there in the West, playing for the West Coast Eagles. Still winning games. Tell us a couple of the other players in your team that has really stepped up and especially taking the places of those AFLW players who are, I guess, most likely won't be playing for most of the season.
Few girls go to West Coast. We lost Hatchie and then Woodlands to the Crows. Who else do we leave? Britt Perry's obviously gone. We obviously have Taylor Gordon is a player who played last year. She played a few games for us. Might not have reached the consistent levels that she wanted. Got a bit of feedback and she has been amazing. Seeing her train, and she's probably got the best kick in the league, not just the team in the league, and she's already kicking goals, and her tackle pressure up forward has been really, really immense. So she's been really good. Jamie Tabb we've got from Woodville, and obviously we all know her talent anyway. She's played for Woodville and obviously got drafted, and I'm sure she's hoping to kind of get back up to that level, but she laid 12 tackles on the weekend, and she's just a beast in the midfield. And to run alongside her is it's just a dream because she's so highly contested. She always wins the ball, so it makes it really easy for the rest of us to get that ball forward. We do have quite a lot of other players, but I'll miss someone if I go through everyone. We've got Jamie Norup as well in the ruck. She's from Glenelg, and we've just been so blessed with some great ruck women over the last couple of years with Jane Altschweiger and Beck Rashid last year, and Jamie is already killing it in there. So everyone's got so much talent across the group. We've got so many kids as well who are just stepping on the door to come in. So I'm sure you'll see a lot of our young players come through throughout the season.
Now, the question I rarely ask clubs and teams, especially when they lose AFLW players, is do you get to see these AFLW players that you've lost so far this season? Do they come to training or just to watch or support, or even come to games so far through the first 2 games?
Yeah, we can't seem to get rid of Hatchie and Ash, so they're just still kind of sticking around like a bad smell. No, just joking. Hatchie's wants to run water for us before she goes out and gets 25 disposals for the Crows, and Ash has been out every game. They've come out to trial games. They came out for photo day. Obviously Lauren, Gouchy, Amber Ward and Popey they're in West Coast, so it's a bit harder for them, but yeah, everyone is so supportive of each other, and even just the girls in West Coast, we're always just communicating with them, social media posts and things like that, and getting around them. So we're all really supportive of each other, and what we did last year was so special that I think that we'll all stay connected for the foreseeable future. So yeah, it is good to have those 2 around as well. Just joking before.
Yeah, that's right. We know. Now let's talk about the premiership. It was a pretty difficult year. Now I think you played 4 games of the normal season. Then you had about a month and a half off because of the lockdown. And then it sort of resumed back, and obviously he's got to finish the season off, and which I think finished around about maybe June, July, I think it was, which is much later than normal.
Yeah.
How difficult was it to get yourselves motivated after you played the first 4 rounds as it was like a normal season, then the stop in the middle, and try to get back into it and try to resume an unbelievable run, and of course going all the way to win the premiership without dropping a game?
Yeah, it was difficult. I think when you last season and pre-season, having a new coach, some new players that come along, and you can kind of see where we're going and getting very excited about what's happening. Obviously we're 4-0, and then it kind of all hits and you've got to go on a break. It is hard because it does stop that momentum. But in saying that as well, it was pretty amazing how hard the girls worked in that off period. So I think we had about 6 weeks where we were just doing our own running, posting it on Strava. We had Zoom meetings where we were all doing gym sessions, and it's 25, 30 girls all logged on and doing push-ups and burpees and all that kind of stuff. And that just adds to it. That just adds to the want of the team. Everyone can see everyone's buying in. So it was hard and it was long, and right at the end of it, it was definitely this not a sense of relief, but it was a big weight, to finish that long season and obviously finish it so fantastically. But yeah, we came back, and as we started to keep winning, I think just the belief, like the fact that it was going on so long wasn't in our heads. It was just this belief that we can keep going. Obviously after that break, we got some of our AFLW girls back as well, so they were so immense for us that we knew we had something special, and so we just kept rolling on. But it was definitely a truly unique season, that's for sure.
When did you sense that you were going to win the premiership on grand final day? Because when I watched the grand final, I thought the game was set right, and the pace of the game was set right from the start, and you really didn't let South Adelaide back in it. From the first couple of goals that you scored as a team, it just seems like everything just kept rolling North Adelaide's way, and seems everything that South Adelaide tried to do just didn't work for them.
Yeah, I mean, to take nothing away from South Adelaide, they're an amazing team and they were very good on the day. And it was pretty, it was pretty 50-50 for a lot of it. But I think probably, I've been playing sport long enough to know that it's never over till it's over. So I never really thought, oh, this is it, we've got it, until the siren hit. But I think that fourth quarter, there was, at the 3-quarter break, there was a sense of belief that if we could just hold on here, and if anyone watches that last quarter, it was obviously a lot of desperation. They did get a goal, but we just, we were back. We had Ash back. We had Erin taking some big marks, Lauren Gauchi and Ash back there, and they just couldn't get past us. And in the end, we got over the line. But I think it was deserved from the season that we had, and I think we were the better team on the day, so it was deserved for us. So that was great.
How good was it to hold the Premiership Cup on the day? And especially by looking at all the photos afterwards on the club's social media page, there was quite a fair bit of celebration afterwards in the rooms. How was it?
Oh yeah, it was unbelievable. From what I remember of the night, it was really good. We went back to the club, and your first question, sorry, to hold the cup was it was unbelievable. Just the whole thing was amazing. We all kind of ran to each other, sang the song. We all ran to our family on the side. I had so many friends and family there. My son ran out to me, and it was just, so beautiful, so amazing. Looking at the crowd as well, that was obviously capped out at 1,000, but the 1,000 that were there in full swing. And yeah, just celebrating with my teammates, in particular for me personally, being there since day one and having lost a couple of grand finals, I definitely enjoyed, holding the cup with a few friends that have shared in those losses with me as well, as it was nice to finally win one for the club. And then back at the club later, we like rewatched the game whilst having a couple of orange juices, and then had a bit of pizza, and then the night just continued on. And I definitely didn't last as well as some of the young ones, but it was a good night nonetheless.
Now, Lauren, I need to ask you this question, which I ask all my guests that wins the premiership, which is, how long did you wear your medal around your neck for, and did you sleep with it?
I wore it all night, but I don't think I slept with it. I think we had Mad Monday the next morning. I think I put it back on, but I think I wrapped it up neatly next to my bed and put it there and then put it back on the next morning. So that's from what I can recall.
Now, let's talk a bit about your football journey. You just mentioned before you played football for a while now. Where did it all start and why did you choose it?
Yeah, I mean, I keep getting called a veteran, so I'll refer to myself as a veteran, but I don't actually consider myself as a veteran. I've played SANFL since day one, and came out to North because Jess Edwards, who is now at Carlton, we played a lot of Gaelic football together. So my background is actually soccer and Gaelic football, and then I think North at that time had a couple of injuries, and it was very late. It was about 2 weeks before the season had started. I think Matt Slade had said, does anyone know of anyone? And just kind of thought of me, thankfully. So gave me a call and came out to the season, and have played almost every game. I think I've missed 2 since the start, and I played a bit for Port Adelaide in the SANFLW in between one of those years, and I did actually play a few games for West Adelaide a couple of years before, but I got pregnant with my son, so that was pretty much it for me. But SANFLW's pretty much been my whole footy journey, so that's very lucky, having played at such a high level. And North have been great to me. It's the best club, I feel, in the league. What they do for the women's program, what they're bringing every year, how much they believe in us, and really, really grateful for that.
Now, I have to ask, what position do you play on the field? And if you had a preferred position, we'd love to convince the coaches to put you. Where would that be?
I play in the midfield, so just generally roll around the middle. I am playing a little bit more forward this year, which is fun, but I've probably got to learn how to score a goal or 2, otherwise Chrissy will take me out of there. I think I've played a couple of years at like a high half forward with Matt Slade, but I definitely prefer being in the middle and being around the ball as much as possible. I feel that that's a strength of mine, and I like to link the play between the defence and forward line, so that's definitely my preference. I'd have to just say middle, and if Chrissy could keep me in the middle, that'd be great, because I like playing there. So
and what does the sport of football mean to you now, especially playing there at North Adelaide?
Football, what does football mean to me? Football means football takes up so much of my life. It's camaraderie, it's competitiveness, it's just a love for the game. You can't do it forever, so you've got to embrace it while you can. And it's hard to put into words, really, but exactly that. Just being around girls of a similar nature who love the sport, who are of equal mind. I think the rise of women's footy and being around female athletes and a club that appreciates women's sport is really important to me. I've played a lot of sport for different clubs, and only a few years ago you were paying hundreds of dollars to play yourself at high levels, and not getting appreciated as much as what you potentially could have been, whereas I think we're definitely stepping in the right direction there. So it's nice to be part of this era in history, I guess, that women's footy is such a forefront in Australian culture, I guess. So it's great to be a part of, and I'm really passionate and excited about it.
Now, what would be your advice to people out there that should get involved in footy, especially down there at North Adelaide?
My advice would be to trial and come out and try your hardest. And I think from what I can see from the young girls that come through and make it, their willingness to want to improve is unbelievable. we have girls. I just look at their work rate, but just when coaches are talking, video feedback of games, they're in on it. They're listening. They're wired. They want to get better. They want to learn whatever pathway they want, whether that they want to get drafted or they just want to play a game for North Adelaide or just learn more. They're so keen. So I just think work rate, you've got to want it. No one's going to give anything to you in this world. So if you want to play at SANFLW level and potentially even higher, you're the only one that can control that. So you've got to work hard. You've got to listen to the people around you, and try your best and just put your name out there as well. If you play in a junior club or Div 3 amateurs and you think that you can give it a go, then just give it a shot.
Now, for everyone that should get down and watch the mighty defending champions in action, especially this weekend against West Adelaide, what would be your advice to people out there that should come and support the mighty Roosters in 2021? We
are the reigning premiers, so that's a good start. I think we're the great club. So we've got great players. We play a lovely style of footy. I think we've got some talented individuals. I think it's the kind of footy that you want to watch. I don't know, we're just great. just support us. And red looks good on everyone, so that's why you should support North Adelaide.
I agree with that one. Now, let's finish up with a couple of lighthearted questions about your teammates. I know it's only 2 games so far, so we've got a long way to go, but I'll see how we go with these lighthearted questions first, which is, who's the comedian in the team?
Definitely me.
Yes.
Me. If you ask Chrissy, definitely me. No, we've got a running joke where the coach just doesn't think I'm funny at all, and then I just try and tell everyone how funny I am, but it just goes on deaf ears. There's a fair few funny girls in the group, like our co-captain Christy Harvey. She's pretty funny. She's very dry. She's also scary. So you just got to pick your moments to laugh, because you don't know if she's joking or if she's being scary. Well, KB is pretty funny. Kelly Baltrop, she's pretty dry. She doesn't say much, but when she does, it's usually pretty good. And yeah, some of the young kids are pretty funny, but that's just because they say dumb stuff sometimes. But I'd still say me and Lep. It has to be me and Lep 50-50. I'm gonna, we're both a bit older as well, so I'm just gonna put our names down.
No, I agree with that one. Even the club agreed with that one. That's when I spoke to the club about this. So now I've got a feeling maybe a couple of the young kids might be in your answer for this next question, which is, who's the best singer, the best dancer in the team, and who are into their TikToks?
Oh, I don't even know who's into TikTok. Probably Brie Arthur would be into TikTok. She strikes me as a TikToker, but then I'll probably say that, and if she hears it, she'll get angry at me. I don't know. Yeah, Brie. Best singer. Oh, had she liked to have a sing? So at the end of last season, she was non-stop in the karaoke. And then also sang at a party we had afterwards. So I don't know if she is the best singer, but Let is a good singer and can play guitar as well.
Oh.
So probably those two. Yeah, she's pretty talented. And dancer, I do not know that one. I do not know that one. I don't know if anyone can dance well. Definitely not me. Definitely not me. I would be the worst, but I'll get back to you on that.
Do you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
No, I usually just need to take up the trainer's table before the game and pretty much just push everyone else away, because I feel like I need massages more than anyone else because I'm older. So pretty much just being on the massage table for as long as possible, and then just playing. That's it. I don't like superstitions. That would be it for me.
Now, we're going to finish up with this last two, which is, do you have a pump-up song, or does the team have a pump-up song prior to a game?
We've got like a playlist that we're playing. I think Head and Heart by Joel Corey is probably my pump-up song this year. That's like a bit of a banger. But other than that, I don't know. I like a fair bit of 80s and 90s music, so I probably don't want to actually tell you what I like, so I'll get teased by people. So I'll just say a current modern song that makes me sound cool.
Don't worry, I'm into my 80s and 90s. So
okay, good. All right.
You can tell me that after the interview.
Yeah, I'll tell you after.
And we'll finish up with this one last one, which is how special is to have Smash FM as your player sponsor in 2021?
Oh, amazingly special. Like I said at the beginning, thank you so much. We don't run as a club without sponsors, but just having you guys on board, getting a chat to you, having, you know, this cool relationship with you guys over in Melbourne is awesome, and we're really appreciative of your support. So thanks so much.
No worries. And look, thank you so much for giving up your time to join us. Of course, a big game coming up against West Adelaide, round 3 of the SANFLW, of course. Let's hope you can get over the line against them and retain that undefeated streak alive, which obviously carries back to last season. And let's hope you can make it 3-0 and retain top spot on the ladder with a big win against one of your rivals, West Adelaide.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait. I'm actually missing it. It's the first game in about 4 years I'm missing, but I've got a wedding on Saturday in Robe, so I'm gutted about that, but I'm sure the girls will get over the line, and they'll be amazing, and they'll win. So, yeah.
And thanks so much for joining us.
No worries. Thanks so much, guys. Catch you next time.
No worries. And that's Lauren Daniel there, joins there from North Adelaide Football Club. Of course, as you mentioned, of course, you want to support the Mighty Roosters in 2021 throughout their SANFLW title defence. Of course, we'll put all the details up on how you can buy a membership, of course, with North Adelaide, which will be, we'll put on that on our website. There's more on the Smash Sport Show right after this. Don't go away, here on the 10th year celebration.